The hero leads. Talking the plot. Make the bad guy better. Turn, turn, turn. The emotional color wheel. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. Take a step back. A limp and an eye patch. Is it primal? The emotional color wheel.
Where's my shoe?
I see this mistake made in new filmmakers' works all the time. In our rewrites, we gotta be sure we're taking our audience through as many emotions as the tone of our film genre permits. We want our audience to experience as much emotions as possible. That's what storytelling is all about. You want the audience feeling like a used wash rag by the end. Their emotions have been wrung out. They've laughed, they've cried, they've been aroused, they've been scared, they felt anger, regret, frustration, anxiety. Typically, the more nuanced and specific the emotion you're able to clearly convey, the better. The idea is to effectively simulate in our audience what it feels like to live. We've created a dream state where life and its emotions are recreated in a safe environment.
Rachel, we really just wanted to see how you was doing.
Thanks.
Yeah, chemotherapy. It really sucks.
Greg, what the hell, bro? Don't say it sucked, dumbass.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I said, I see this mistake in emerging filmmakers' works all the time. Yes, I understand that your character is sad, but you've got to take the extra step to synchronize your character with your audience. And when you're dealing with an extremely powerful emotion such as grief or sadness, we've got to see how that character was before he got stuck in grief to begin with. Now, if someone dies early in your story, you better show why the loss of this character meant so much to your MC before you just kill him off. Don't just assume that just because you killed off your main character's son or daughter that the audience is automatically supposed to feel just like the main character, as if you're just commanding your audience to care. It doesn't work like that. What emotion did this character bring to your MC? Happiness? Joy? Peace? Great. Now instead of showing generic memories or experiences, you start with an extremely important, specific memory that solidifies that character's significance in your MC's life in the story. So you show why they're important before you kill them off, before you even introduce the concept of them dying. You show that to your audience first, then you kill them. If your script feels one note emotionally, go back and flesh out your story using all of the emotions on the emotional color wheel. You're writing a love story, where's the lust scene? Where's your frustration scene? Where's your arousal scene? Where's your scary scene? And if you don't have these, take a scene that's just funny or dramatic and try to play it for one of the missing colors on the emotional color wheel. Take a look at what emotions are missing in your screenplay and pick one of the missing emotions. Take those scenes, use the same action, the same positive, negative charge, the same conflict and result, but play it for lust instead of laughs, jealousy instead of dramatic conflict. By varying the emotions you use, you create a much more fulfilling cinematic experience for everyone involved. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. This is flat dialogue. I'm guilty of this as well. Even in the second draft of my feature-length thriller, it's still in there. This boring flat dialogue is a waste of space and it wastes your audience's time. Flat dialogue is the kind of dialogue that anyone can say. It's not specific or perfectly aligned with any one character. Engaging characters talk differently than you and I. They've got a unique way of saying the most mundane things.
Hey, get off. Kevin, out of the room.
Hang up the phone and make me, why don't you?
Which raises them above the norm. A character's dialogue is the opportunity to reveal what that character wants and who that person really is. It's our opportunity to reveal character. How someone talks is character and can highlight a character's past, inner demons, and his overall outlook on life. Every time a character speaks is your chance to show that.
It's not personal.
It feels personal when you chat up every other guy at the game except me. When you stay late for a drink with JT, but never... Have you visited his Oscar? I think it's bolted on the hood of his car. It's noticeable when you go out of your way to demonstrate that you have no interest in me. You did the same thing to Dean.
All your characters should not speak the same. They should all have a unique voice, which means you can run your script through this classic dialogue test. Cover up the names of the people speaking. Now, can you tell who's speaking just by looking at the words on the page? If you cannot tell what character's speaking just by looking at their dialogue, this is bad. gotta be rewritten. So one extreme technique Snyder recommends if this is a problem in your script is giving each character some kind of a verbal tick. Now, you don't have to be this drastic in your screenplay by any means, but the overall idea behind this is that you're giving each character a unique verbal identifier so that you can tell who is speaking just by reading their dialogue. Snyder says this makes your characters richer. Take a step back. So this is a mistake that happens to everyone, even professional writers working in Hollywood. This is when, at the very beginning of the script, your hero is already who he or she needs to be by the end of the film. He didn't need the journey, he didn't need the plot to undergo change. He was effectively the same person at the beginning that he was at the end. And to fix this problem at the very beginning of your movie, you've got to take your main character a step back, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, physically, so that the journey means something. Generally, you want to get into the habit of taking your main character back a step with each rewrite. You've got to take your main character as far back as humanly possible to increase the significance of your plot. This ensures that your plot exists to develop your MC. Many of us know where our heroes are going to end up, so oftentimes you place our hero's minds at the end of the story psychologically, but he's just at the beginning. We're saving our MC the torment of growth. We as writers want our MC to succeed so badly that we show the audience a fully developed human being at the beginning. And this person is so developed that this undervalues the relevance of our story. We've got to show our characters bumps in the road, because showing these bumps makes the payoff at the end that much sweeter. These characters need to grow by getting slapped in the mouth, punched in the face, kneaded the nuts, knocked in the head so many times that they realize that, oh, but there's something that I'm not doing right here. I'm not supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing that. And they start doing that. If I think and move like this, then I won't get punched in the mouth and slapped in the face as much, and I can also accomplish my goals. Don't get so caught up in the end result that you deny us as the audience the adventure of that beautiful growth. Show the audience everything, all the change, all the growth, all the development, all the action of the hero's journey. A limp and an eye patch. Okay, so sometimes we've done all the things to make our script incredible, right? We have perfect structure, the plot is on point, it intensifies and explodes after the midpoint, dialogue is snappy, story is solid, growth is there, but something is missing in your script that you just can't put your finger on. There seem to be too many minor characters in your script who you may need to get rid of and or combine. It's kind of hard to tell these characters apart. Even though the dialogue is snappy and specific and unique, well, Snyder argues that your characters might be missing a limp and an eye patch. This confusion occurs when you haven't given the audience a hook to hang their hats on for each vital character in the story. In Kill Bill, we've got Uma Thurman's iconic yellow and black jumpsuit. Yes, every character has to have a unique way of speaking, but also a unique physical identifier, something physically memorable that will stick in the minds of the readers, that our audience will eventually be watching on screen. This is a visual cue or an ongoing visual reminder, which makes remembering who each character is a lot easier. Snyder says a limp and an eye patch may seem like a silly way to attach traits to characters to make sure we remember them, but it works. So if you find yourself with one or several unidentifiable characters who are getting lost in the shuffle, try giving them a limp and an eye patch. Is it primal? So this is where Blake Snyder and Michael Haig, the person who wrote this book, certainly agree. Does your plot hinge on primal drives like survival, hunger, sex, protection of loved ones, or fear of death? At the root of anyone's goal in a commercial film must be something this basic. Even if on the surface it's something else, no matter what your story's about, by making your character's desire more primal, that plot is grounded in a reality that everyone can relate to. Snyder says, suddenly it's not about stockbrokers, it's about human beings trying to survive. These primal desires are perceived as a biological need. The primal desires at the root of most horror films, such as Paranormal Activity, It, Smile, is don't get killed, aka survive. At the core of many dramas, thrillers, and action films, no matter how sophisticated the plot, it must be about something that resonates at a caveman level. To be loved, to survive, to protect family, to exact revenge. In your rewrites, tie your main character's wants and needs to these primal desires, and you should be all good. If you're a filmmaker, you should grab a Clover Key to screw your camera plate onto your camera. Haven't seen my film yet? Don't worry, I'll post a link in the description below. Interested in learning from me one-on-one? Shoot me an email at alanprofilm@gmail.com. It's always a pleasure talking to you guys. Until next time, peace.